Athletics Championship in 2005. The government said the stadium at Pickett's Lock in North London would be too expensive and has offered to put on the competition outside the capital. The World Athletics governing body says it's London or nothing.
The opening of the World Athletics Championships 2 months ago in Canada. Only the Olympics and the Football World Cup have a higher profile, which is why London agreed to host the event in 2005. A new stadium was planned at Pickett's Lock in North London, but today the project was abandoned amid allegations that it was proving simply too expensive. This site was supposed to house a new and futuristic stadium. Instead, it will be remembered for the games that never happened. Britain's reputation among the governing bodies of world sport was already low, and today it's sinking even further. The government says it can still stage the championships by moving them to the Don Valley Stadium in Sheffield, but athletics governing body has always insisted on London, and London alone.
We have an excellent offer to make the IAAF. Sheffield as the location, a congress in London, and a legacy fund for young athletes across Britain.
It's the government's fault, I'm afraid. The fact is they were too late in putting the case together. They didn't decide who was going to pick up the final bill. They were over-optimistic in their assumptions. The bid was full of hope and not reality.
The collapse of this project could yet have further ramifications. This evening, there are doubts over whether Britain can now put forward a viable bid to stage the 2012 Olympics. Adam Parsons, BBC News at Pickett's Lock.
Let's take a look at the weather now. Michael Fish is here. Michael, what's it going to be like?
Not very nice, I'm afraid, Fiona. Make the most of tomorrow, really, in eastern parts of the country, because the weekend looks, well, turning wet and windy, to say the least. And there'll be some rain around tonight in the west and north, through tomorrow as well. We're all going to get a share of it into the weekend. So we are going to have some stormy weather, very wet, often very windy across most parts of the United Kingdom, and that does give us the risk of some localised flooding. At the moment, we've got some rain packing into the west, 1 or 2 fairly heavy bursts of rain already beginning to show up. So another little message for you in that there'll be some heavy rain tonight and well into tomorrow, Northern Ireland, western parts of Scotland, and later on that rain heading into Wales as well. So we're going to have these bursts of rain coming into these western parts during the course of the night. A little bit of rain running across central and eastern areas of England as well, but that should be out of the way, I think, by the end of the night. Quite a warm night with those southerly winds virtually everywhere. For central and eastern areas, a rather cloudy start, but brightening up with some hazy sunshine. Pulses of rain, though, running up these western areas and across into Scotland. Some quite heavy pulses of rain there from time to time. But eventually, I think we will find brighter conditions coming into Northern Ireland. Fairly breezy day, but nevertheless, still with those winds in the south. Temperatures should be 18 or 19. That's not too bad for the time of year, but cooler over the weekend. A lot of rain and some gales. More in half an hour, Fiona.
Michael, thanks very much. And we've just had some news in. Suleiman Balal Zainul Abidin, a chef from Greenwich in South East London, has been charged with 2 offences under the Terrorism Act 2000. Presumably that's a link with the attacks on the 11th September. We're not quite sure. That news just come in. And tonight's main news again, a Russian plane has crashed into the Black Sea, killing all 77 people on board. The cause of the crash is unknown. Ukraine's denied it shot it down by accident. Michael Stone has been found guilty of the murders of Lynn Russell and her daughter Meghan. And Tony Blair has said new evidence against Osama bin Laden is incontrovertible. We'll bring you the latest on those stories just before 7 o'clock. For that, it's time to join the BBC's news teams throughout the United Kingdom. Bye-bye.